What's going on, guys? I'm Jay the Black. Shout out to everyone that's tuning in. I want to talk about Venus Williams. Okay. Now, Venus Williams recently was a topic of conversation due to a report that she was still a virgin at 41 years old. Now, I haven't really been able to find a lot of sources speaking on that particular note, so I can't really say it for sure, but it may play a role into her dating life. Now, Venus Williams has had her fair share of relationships. She's dated, but nothing ever seems to last. And it seems like the older she's gotten, when you've seen her in these relationships, primarily with Caucasian guys, I think that that's her preference. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not holding that against her because that's what she chooses to do. Okay? She can date whoever she wants, just like, melanated men should be able to date whoever they want without being criticized, especially if they are celebrities. Right? So she's in and out of these relationships. None of them ever really seems to last that long. And she's always ended up back on the dating market. Well, she had made some comments about marriage and about how she really that's not her thing. And she also mentioned how she said out of her own mouth that she's not dateable, that she's undateable. She said it on Instagram Live. So when you see it in the title, no, it's not clickbait. And I'm going to show it to you here exactly what she had to say. Now, this is from The Sun, and it was speaking about Venus Williams. She recently was a part of the King Richard movie, her and her sister. So it says, is Venus Williams married? Venus Williams is not married and never has been. For the 41-year-old athlete, marriage isn't a priority. Herself, however, is. According to her October 2021 cover story for Cosmopolitan magazine, Venus enjoys her freedom and doesn't feel the need to subject herself to societal pressures when it comes to marriage. I have a lot of friends who don't believe me when I say that I like my life and I don't want to change it for any reason. I'm not desperate and they don't believe me, she said during the interview. They say things like, you're going to miss your window. I'm like, please relax. You might feel this way, but I don't. I promise you I don't. See, that represents, I believe, the attitude of a lot of your modern women who chooses their career over family, over being in a relationship, over children. I think Venus still thinks she has time. I don't buy this whole, I don't want to get married, I'd rather be alone. I don't buy that, because if that was true, why is she constantly in and out of relationships? And some of those relationships are with younger guys. I just think that Venus dates men who aren't interested in marrying her, more so than it's the other way around. And I think she understands that. And she's come to terms with that. And she's not going to change what she likes. A lot of these women are not going to change what they like in order to be with a man who's willing to marry them. So I think that as of right now, Venus has pretty much come to terms with the fact that if she wants to date the type of guy she wants to date, they're probably not going to marry her. But I don't buy this whole, I don't want to ever get married. I don't buy that for a second. Most women want to get married, or at least speak about getting married. Now, I could be wrong, because again, I've said it myself that I feel like there's a lot of women of today who don't care about marriage. They really don't, deep down. But those women publicly state that they do care about marriage. But in Venus' case, because again, it's not like she's been single for like stretches amounts of time. She continues to date. So it's not like she's taking herself completely out of the dating market. Well, she's all in dating market. The thing is, she's dating guys that aren't interested, I believe, in marrying her. Journalist and podcast host Jemele Hill also weighed in on the Venus singledom. She's chosen to live her life so unapologetically, and I think there's a beauty in that, she said. She just seems like somebody who's just not pressed, and I love that about her. This is coming from Jemele Hill, who did get married, and she waited as long as she could to marry this guy, and but again, she's gonna tell other women it's okay to be single while she sits up there married. These women get terrible advice, but again, she wants to show her support for the single, independent, strong women that don't need a man, right? During an Instagram live video, Venus once referred to herself as undateable. I want y'all to see that word here so y'all know that that's exactly what she said. She described herself as undateable. Lots of people asking me to go on a date. I'm just not, I would say I'm undateable. That's okay. I'm happy. She was most recently linked to fellow tennis player Riley Opelka. I think that's how you say it. Opelka. But neither of them ever confirmed a relationship. That's because there never was a relationship. There never was a relationship. In 2019, Venus ended her high-profile relationship with fellow multimillionaire Nicholas Hammond. The two attended Serena Williams' wedding together, and he often appeared courtside to cheer Venus on. Cuban model Elio Pice was reportedly her previous boyfriend, with the pair meeting in 2012 when he modeled for her 11 fashion line. That's how she met him. He was a model for her. She started dating one of her models, man. Venus was in a serious relationship with golfer Hank Kuna, who was spotted at her matches between 2007 and 2010. But the pair then broke up before Hank met his second wife, Andy, who he married in 2011. You see how that works? He broke up with her in 2010, and then a year later, he marries somebody else. Venus does not have any children. The tennis champion does consider her dog, Harold Reginald Williams, to be her son. According to her interview with Cosmopolitan, he's been a part of her family for 14 years now. She is an aunt to sister Serena's daughter, Alexi, and she has 7 siblings in total. So that's the gist of what this article was saying, just to give y'all of where she's at, to give y'all some information about where she's at in her life. Listen, we all make choices. We have to live by those choices. I think that Venus is somebody that does her own thing. You know, Venus is not an attention seeker. Venus is not outspoken. You know, she just speaks when she needs to. She's the more quiet of her and Serena. Serena loves the attention. I don't think Venus does. They may have the same interests, you know, on certain things, but I just think that Venus is more in the background and she does her own thing. So this isn't me going in on her. This is me responding to the fact that you have a woman who's 41 and is calling herself undateable, talking about how she's done with marriage, which I don't think that she is. I just think that she dates men that don't marry her. They don't see her as wife material. But that doesn't mean that, again, she's a bad person. It's because those guys see her as a single, independent woman that feels like, you know, men are replaceable and that no man that comes into her life will ever be able to stay there very long. You know, she's in and out of these relationships. And again, she has a type. She has a type, and I just don't think that that type is trying to marry her. And in some ways it's vice versa, because she's dating men who may be unavailable. But if she's happy in what she's doing in her life, then so be it. I'm not here to tell her how to live her life and what she should be, who she should be and how she should feel. But sooner or later, this is going to change. Like I did a video about a woman from Brazil. She was a model, a social media model from Brazil, nice body, attractive woman, who married herself. And then months later, after marrying herself, a few months later, not that long, maybe about 2 months, maybe, she ended up divorcing herself because she met somebody. See, women do things in the spur of the moment, but women are very emotional. And because women are very emotional, they make emotional decisions in their life based off of how they feel. I just think that Venus has been single so much and has been in and out of fruitless relationships. I think in her mind, she feels like, you know what, marriage is just way off the radar. I'm trying to hold on to somebody in a regular relationship, and she hasn't been able to do that. So I just think that she's comfortable where she is, but all it takes is the right man at the right time walking into her life, and things change very quickly. Things change very quickly. But y'all let me know in the comment section below. Like this video, share it, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I will see all of you on the next one. Also, make sure you go subscribe to other channels. Subscribe to the live stream channel in the description. Subscribe to BasikSocialPoliticz. Upload on 3 channels. So go subscribe.